ECOWAS versus the Sahel, the struggle for Africa's future. The standoff between the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the Sahel nations has emerged as one of the most pivotal geopolitical struggles shaping West Africa's destiny. ECOWAS, long regarded as the region's dominant political and economic bloc, now faces open defiance from the Sahel nations, particularly Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, who have openly rejected its authority, sparking a deep crisis of legitimacy across the region. ECOWAS was founded in 1975 to promote economic integration, free movement, and regional stability among its 15 member states. However, in recent years, it has increasingly been accused of serving foreign interests, especially those of France, the European Union, and the United States. Its harsh sanctions, military threats, and political interventions, often against military-led governments, have alienated populations already disillusioned by decades of corruption and external meddling. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe to keep this channel alive. Thank you. The current conflict erupted following a wave of military coups in the Sahel. In 2021, Mali's military seized power, citing widespread corruption and a failure to curb extremist violence. Burkina Faso followed in 2022, with Captain Ibrahim Traore's government blaming weak civilian leadership for the country's insecurity. In 2023, Niger's military removed President Mohamed Bazoum, accusing him of undermining national sovereignty and working too closely with Western powers. ECOWAS responded swiftly, imposing sweeping sanctions, cutting financial ties, and even threatening military intervention, particularly against Niger. However, these measures backfired. Instead of isolating the Sahel regimes, ECOWAS's hardline stance triggered a regional backlash, with many Africans accusing it of acting as a proxy for Western interests. Faced with this pressure, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger forged a powerful new alliance, the Alliance of Sahel States, AES, pledging mutual defense and cooperation. In January 2024, they announced their immediate withdrawal from ECOWAS, calling it an illegitimate and neo-colonial organization. The Sahel nations now openly promote regional self-reliance, military cooperation, and partnerships with non-Western powers such as Russia and China, further deepening their rift with ECOWAS. The rivalry between ECOWAS and the Sahel bloc is as much ideological as it is political. ECOWAS champions electoral democracy, albeit inconsistently, often tolerating corrupt governments that favor Western policies. In contrast, the Sahel nations argue that military-led governments are necessary to defend national sovereignty, reclaim control over natural resources, and expel foreign military bases. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe to keep this channel alive. Thank you. Support for the Sahel bloc has surged among ordinary citizens across West Africa, particularly in countries that have suffered from Islamist insurgencies, economic hardship, and foreign military interventions. In Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, mass protests routinely condemn ECOWAS, France, and the United Nations, accusing them of perpetuating poverty and insecurity under the guise of democracy and counter-terrorism. The economic consequences of this split are also profound. ECOWAS's sanctions against Niger, for example, disrupted trade across West Africa, including vital energy and food supplies. The Sahel nations have responded by strengthening trade ties with Algeria and exploring alternative monetary systems, potentially threatening the dominance of the CFA franc, a currency still closely tied to the French treasury. As the crisis deepens, some analysts warn of a permanent fracture in West Africa. ECOWAS faces a stark choice: either reform to reflect the growing calls for sovereignty and economic independence, or risk losing relevance as more nations gravitate toward alternative alliances. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe to keep this channel alive. Thank you. Ultimately, the ECOWAS versus Sahel conflict is a struggle over the region's future, whether it will continue under the traditional post-colonial system of external influence and elite-led democracy, or shift toward a new order rooted in self-reliance, national control, and military-led nationalism. This struggle will define the next decade of African geopolitics.